Good morning! Welcome back to Baking Bakers, where we like to show you some of our favorite foods. Today, I'm joined by my grandson, Rylan Baker, and we are making hot cocoa cookies. Alright, today we're making hot cocoa cookies as we talked about, and Rylan's going to help me out. We're going to start by mixing the butter and the sugars until they're nice and fluffy. Rylan, I'm going to have you go ahead and put the butter and the sugars in this pan. We have 1 cup of white sugar. We have 2/3 cup of brown sugar. That's going to give it a really nice deep flavor to our cookies, having both of the sugars. And then we're going to use 1 cup of butter, and you can use unsalted or salted. Today I'm using salted. All right, bud. Go ahead and turn it on. Over here. Oh, helps if you plug it in. We'll start it on low, just till the ingredients get mixed so they don't poof up at us, right? That's happened before. And then we're gonna turn it up. We're gonna go ahead and turn that up. Good job. And we're gonna wait for this to mix really well. There's 8. 8's good. All right, bud. Let's go ahead and stop it so we can scrape the sides down. All right, lift that head up. Right here. I'm gonna come right around here. Give it a good scrape after about 2 minutes of mixing, and then we'll start it back up. All right, bud. Here we go. We're going to mix this for about 5 minutes until it's light and fluffy. That's going to give our cookie a really nice texture and crumb. Let's go ahead and stir it one more time, bud. Lift it up. All right.
Look, it's tiny.
What? It looks tiny. You think it looks tiny?
Look, it's big.
Close to being done with this. We whip this butter the same way we did with our sugar and butter for our frosting that we made for our birthday cake. And it just makes it nice and fluffy. The butter becomes whiter. The mixture begins to get fluffy and white, as you see it doing now. It's not going to get as white as the frosting because we have brown sugar added to this, and that's going to color it a bit. All right, Rylan, let's go ahead and turn it off. All the way. Okay, now...
I tried it, didn't taste so good.
Now we're going to add our eggs and our vanilla. Put that in there, bud. Go ahead. We have 2 eggs that have come to room temperature. Good. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Very good. Let's go ahead and turn it on low.
I like smelling the vanilla.
We'll mix this till it comes together well. And then we're going to turn it off and mix up our dry ingredients. So I always start with the wet ingredients, and then we mix the dry ingredients together and add them to the wet ingredients in almost every cookie we make. All right, I'm going to stop this. I like the way that looks. Rylan, are you ready to mix up the dry ingredients?
Yeah.
All right, over here. excuse me. So in this bowl, we have
Flour.
3 1/4 cups of flour.
This is hot cocoa mix.
Yes. So these cookies are called hot cocoa cookies. So we're actually adding 4 packages of hot cocoa mix to the flour. And this happens to have many marshmallows in, which is good because we're actually going to add more of those. To that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, do the salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we're going to whisk that, hold on, we're not going to put that in yet. We're going to whisk that together gently to mix it up. I'll get these out of the way. You want to mix these dry ingredients up so that the baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt are not just in one spot and clumped together. All right. You ready? What's the next step, bud?
I'll put that in there.
Yep. Are we going to pour it all at one time?
No.
No. Why? Do you remember why?
It'll go everywhere.
It'll go everywhere, that's right. So we're gonna put some in. Go ahead, a little more. About half of it. All right. Let's mix that up a little bit. On low. Ah! That's why we don't put it all in at once, because it'll be even worse. All right, let's put some more in. Can you do it? Yep, keep doing that, that's good. All right. Lock my bowl in place so it doesn't bob up and down. This is going to be a sort of dry batter, and if you're a cookie maker, it makes you nervous. You think dry batter, dry cookie. You have to trust the process on this. It's a dry batter, but it's going to make a really nice moist cookie. So now we're going to add the secret ingredients. What do you suppose those are?
The marshmallows and the chocolate chips.
All right, go ahead and put those in. So these marshmallows, who knew? You can buy hot cocoa marshmallows in bulk. Buy the marshmallows in the grocery store, and they are perfect for this cookie. Good job. So we're putting a cup of those in, and then we're also putting a cup of hot chocolate, a cup of chocolate chips in. You can use chocolate chunks, chocolate chips, mini chocolate chips, whatever you want. We're just going to stir this gently. And then this dough is going to go in the refrigerator for 30 to 60 minutes. You can leave it in overnight if you want to. It's just going to meld those flavors together, and it's going to make, it's going to solidify the shortening a little bit so that the cookies don't flatten out so much. All right, let's see what we got here. Again, this is a really dry dough, but it does not translate into a dry cookie, I promise you. It's so tempting. The first time I made these, I was so tempted to add some extra liquid in, some milk or some extra butter, but I promise you it's gonna come out okay. So we're gonna cover this with saran wrap, we're gonna put it in the fridge for a bit, and we'll be back. All right, our dough has been chilling for at least 30 minutes in my refrigerator. I've just turned my oven on to preheat it to 350 degrees. That's what you're going to bake them at, and you always want to preheat your oven for cookies unless the directions specifically tell you not to, and that's going to be incredibly rare. All right, so Ryland's going to help me with this, and we have tablespoons, a little bit bigger than teaspoons, And we're gonna get a little bit of dough, a good tablespoon size piece of dough on our spoon, and then we're gonna roll it gently into a little ball and put it on our cookie sheet. And then we're gonna keep doing that. Just leave it. And then we're gonna keep doing that until we have all our dough done. These are gonna bake for 10 to 13 minutes or so. I like to start my oven when I put them in, just put my timer for a few minutes before that just to make sure, because I can always cook them more. I can't uncook them. We're gonna put them at least 2 inches apart on this cookie sheet because they will spread a bit. I think I'm making mine bigger than his. So we'll have a variety of sizes. And we'll probably cook his a little bit less than mine because they'll cook faster. While we're doing this, I just want to remind you to be sure and like this video, subscribe to the channel, it doesn't cost you a thing, and share it with your friends. I'm sure that you're going to love these cookies as much as our family loves these cookies, and you'll want to make them for your family and friends. All right, my cookie dough is full. Cookie sheet. I'm going to help out Rylan here. I'll make them a little bit smaller to match his. I haven't quite heard my oven tell me it's fully preheated yet, but it should be pretty quickly by the time we're done with this. I have a convection oven and I can do 2 trays at once. If you have just a regular oven, I recommend that you do 1 tray at a time so that the heat circulates properly. Whoa! Grandma's throwing dough. All right, bud, I think we're gonna spread these out just a bit and then they'll be ready to bake. You can put 1 more right here. And then I'll make 1 more for the corner. All right, what do you think? They look good? Let's get them in the oven. All right. This is what they look like before they go in the oven. And oh, I have to move my shelf down. And start my timer for 9 minutes. All right, I'll see you in a bit. All right, Rylan, what does that sound mean?
The timer's done.
All right, let's check these cookies. What do you think?
It's going for like another 3 minutes.
I think you're right. We're gonna go for a couple more minutes. I'm gonna put it at 2 and we'll recheck them. Good job, Rylan.
Okay.
All right, Rylan, what's going on now?
The timer's off again.
Let's check these. What do you think?
They're done.
I think you're right. I'm going to touch them lightly, and the center is not quite set, but by the time it sits on the cookie sheet for a few minutes, they're going to be just perfect. These have been sitting for about 5 minutes, finishing cooking. Now I'm going to remove the cookie sheet and let them continue to cool, maybe. By the way, if your cookie sheets look like this, they're well loved. Also, I noticed that my pot holders were all frayed and scorched, and so I took some time the other week and made a whole new set. Now, this pan, you'll notice the cookies got a little bit close together. The good news is they still taste delicious. So we're gonna cool these and then we'll give them a taste test. Our cookies have been cooling for a bit, so are you ready to try one?
Yeah.
All right, which one do you want?
Oh, this one.
All right, a center cookie. He must be a baker. All right, bud, break that apart and let's see what it looks like. Show the camera. All right, taste test. What do you think?
I like it.
Do you think they'll like it?
Yeah.
All right. We have from the expert cookie taster that they're good. So go ahead and make them for your family. We hope that you like them as much as we do. And we'll see you next time on Baking Bakers.